What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yala, your thrice weekly podcast where we talk about the hottest news with a touch of what, Terrence?
Good old humor.
Good old humor, man.
Yeah.
We are recording on Friday. What is the date?
It is Friday the 13th. Unlucky
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Any weird shit happened to you today or not?
I'm exhausted. Yeah.
I'm also fucking tired.
I'm exhausted. I know we've not done a podcast much other than the start of the week, but
yeah.
wow, this week has been tiring, man.
Yeah. Because if you were listening to a previous podcast, we were at Tech Week Singapore with the first ever booth for folklore.
Yeah.
We had a speaking slot. Three of us were there. Terrence, myself, and Tristen. Spoke to a lot of people, which was great.
And even people who recognized us from our podcast. And came to say hi.
A few of them asked me, "Oh, so you got a day job now?" I'm like, no, we're still doing it. It's just we have a booth at a tech event.
This is a real question you got.
It is.
Not, you're not just embellishing
No,
not Hassan Minaj style.
Not Hassan Minajing it. Yeah, someone saw me once, and then he waved, and I was like, okay, I figured this guy maybe recognizes. And then after that, you have a day job here or something? I was like, no, I'm still doing content. It's just now, in addition to content creator, we are a tech startup.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, tech startup. But yeah, we were there from like 8 a.m. to 5 plus p.m. each day at Expo.
Yeah.
And a lot of prep before and after.
Yeah. Very fruitful
Yeah,
time.
super interesting. Man, a lot of interesting people.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the buzz of an event.
Yeah. But not only that, I mean, there's also so many things going on in the international space, right? Like news and really, really shitty news about conflicts going on around the world. I just been wrapping my head around and at times, even when I'm exhausted, like after work and at home and all that, I just can't stop reading or watching videos about everything that's going on. How about you? Okay.
Yeah. No lah. Hey, don't make it seem like I don't care also, man. I mean, yeah, this past week, I think everybody is aware of the horrors that are going on in the Middle East.
Yeah.
But yeah, just wrapping your head around it also, it just takes a lot out of you.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think it's worth discussing, we're not even jumping to that whole thing as a topic yet, because I think literally every day now there's a new piece of news about it.
Yeah.
So we kind of just sort of okay, let's let it cool down a little bit. I mean, in whatever way it can, and sort of be able to take a bit less emotive approach to looking at it also. Right?
Yeah.
Although it will probably be very emotional the next few days or so.
Yeah. And I mean, we will at some point. We might, depending on how things goes. But I mean, the first topic is in some way kind of related to racial and religious tolerance.
Yeah.
But before that, Terrence, what do you normally say, man?
If you've not already done so, please follow, subscribe, whatever. Just follow hit the button to really just keep track of what we're doing on this podcast on social media, and make sure you're up to date with any new episodes of this podcast that we put out there.
Yeah, and if you want to work with us, be it like a brand, an individual, a partner, intern, whatever, you can always reach out to us at contact@ministryoffunny.com.
Yeah.
Or just message us on any of our social platforms.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
All
right, jumping right into it, man. From one, a nice way to end the week to talk about a survey that shines some positive light on stuff in Singapore.
Yeah, surveys. It feels like the past few episodes we're doing a lot of surveys. Our own survey, talking about other surveys, and now another survey. But this time, this survey, it's more the analysis of a survey that was published on the US based think tank Pew Center Research.
Yeah.
It was Pew Research Center. It was published last Friday, October 6th. That kind of analyzed a report that was done in 2022 about basically religious tolerance, racial tolerance, a whole bunch of different aspects of Southeast Asia. Which included Singapore.
Yeah.
Yes. So I mean, overall, some of the main takeaways was that the study hails Singapore's remarkable religious diversity and high tolerance and acceptance. Yeah, and it's remarkable on a global scale. So, for example, 60% or 6 in 10 people say they have a personal connection to at least one other religion of their own, while 2/3 who identify with a religion believe that many religions can be true at the same time. Singaporeans also don't think that their religious beliefs form a part of their national identity, and highly religious Singaporeans are especially supportive of national diversity. Yes. So reading this, well, did it tug at your heartstrings or any other strings of your body?
Yeah, I think for sure lah. Given especially all the conflict that's going on in the Middle East lah, right? Just a reminder of not to take for granted the peace that we have lah. And I know I sound like a national education like exhibition like that lah, right? But it's true lah. It's really true that the fact that you can live side by side, you can literally see a temple and a mosque and a church or even other religious institutions along the same street or in the same vicinity, and no one disturbs each other. I think we take that for granted, but there are a lot of places in the world where that could are literally it means life and death for some people, right?
And I mean even not so much life and death to that extreme, just being like a complete minority in the presence of another bigger religion. Like what I found interesting about this study is because it looked at Southeast Asia, right? So Cambodia, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, India, Indonesia. So not just Southeast Asia, Asia as well.
Yeah.
And Singapore was the only country where there was no major religion. Cambodia, 96% Buddhist.
Yeah.
Thailand, 90% Buddhist. Sri Lanka, 71% Buddhist. Malaysia, 75% Muslim. India, 82% Hindu, and Indonesia 93% Muslim. Whereas in Singapore, if you look across the spectrum, there's no one standout. In fact, the biggest religion, do you know what it is?
Buddhism.
I always thought it was Christianity.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think it's just, the circle of friends and everything that you're in. It's a bubble thing, bubble effect, right?
Actually, in my immediate circle of friends, I would say there's no major. There's Buddhist, there's Hindu, and it's not because I married a Catholic. Also, I know that's what you're thinking.
No. Christianity doesn't necessarily include the Catholicism.
I know. True.
So don't lump them together, please.
No, because so maybe it's partly also because I think a lot of the things that happen that you see in mainstream media, like religious pushback, tend to come from Christians, and
although it's attributed to Christians, but not necessarily directly from them, right?
Yeah, not the individuals per se, but whenever there's an official statement, there are a few religions that are more vocal than others. Whereas Buddhism, I don't think any of the more controversial pushback from religious organizations have come from the Buddhists. So that's where I was surprised. 26% of Singapore identifies as Buddhist, 18% Muslim, 17% Christian.
Yeah. Actually, and if you dig into the numbers, the interesting thing is that even those people practicing a faith in Singapore, right, they differ in how they practice or how they see their faith in relation to the rest of the country, right? I think the numbers are quite staggeringly different, where the number of percent of the religious people who say that their country's culture and values are compatible with their religion, it is way higher across the board, across all religions in Singapore than in any other Southeast Asian country, right? So, for example, even like Christians, almost 90% of Christians say that their faith is compatible with the country's culture and values, compared to 44% Cambodia, 60% Indonesia, 65% Malaysia, 73% Thailand. So it tells you that it's not just about it's not like religion itself also isn't a monolithic thing. Across different cultures, people see the role of religion in their lives quite differently as well. So in Singapore, it seems I think we see that religion should be compatible, or we try to make it compatible with what we do, day to day in our country and all that, right?
So as you go through this data and these trends and all, what feelings do you get inside?
I think especially the last couple of days, right, when really, or at least since last weekend, really watching videos about what's going on in the Middle East and Israel and thinking about the history of it and all that, you really are reminded that, sometimes it really boils down to a fundamental mindset difference about certain things, right? About ethnicity, about religion, and how big a part of that forms your identity, right? And in Singapore, maybe because of they're a small country and because of the fact that we're still a very young country, but we've grown in leaps and bounds in terms of influence and size and GDP, blah blah, over the years, right? We feel almost thrust into the open world to sort of like be an example of how you can do it, right? How you can do this integration thing better than anyone has ever done it. And then when you see examples of what is going on in other parts of the world, you realize, oh, actually, shit, things that we really think are like, oh, this is how humans, how people should treat each other when they live together and all that. That it doesn't exist like that in other parts of the world, right?
So you're saying it's opening your eyes that maybe we are doing some things right.
In a sense, yeah. In the sense that that means I'm also taking for granted certain things. Like the way we always laugh about it when we go to a food court, everyone chokes the seats putting their handphone, putting their wallet, putting their credit card down. A lot of other countries you go to, you do that, you won't see. Even if you put your umbrella, it'll be gone in like 5 minutes, right? So these are things that we take for granted in Singapore that, a lot of times in other countries, it really doesn't work like that, and you would be labeled as very naive. But now I'm thinking, actually looking at these survey results, it kind of tells me maybe we can, rather than call ourselves naive, call ourselves a bit more idealistic, we live what we preach also, right? I mean, okay, again, that sounds like very motherhood statement.
I know,
but I really am heartened, quite by these results also, yeah.
This podcast was brought to you by the People's Association,
Forward
Singapore, the Compact.
Yeah.
You seen people put handphones to choke table?
Oh yeah, handphones.
Well, are you sure you're not Hassan Minajing it or not?
I'm not Hassan Minajing.
Handphone,
100% handphone.
Credit card also.
Credit card, yes. I mean, like a wallet, there's clearly a card case, right? Yeah.
Maybe name card or
possible, but I mean, the point is like it's something of value, right?
Yeah. Wow, handphone also.
Yeah.
So like when I was looking at this stat, right? I won't deny that some part of me still wanted to find things to shit on.
I know, yeah.
Hey, I'm being self-aware.
Yeah,
okay?
No, I was kind of expecting it. I'm waiting. Yeah, go on, please.
Yeah. Let me finish, man. So I was the more like I was reading it, I was like, hey, fuck, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just accept that this study actually shows Singapore to be pretty awesome? And again, don't give me your condescending face. Okay, okay. For those of you listening, you go to YouTube.
I'm just looking.
You look at Terence's face. He's damn condescending. He's almost like I know this is you. I know you always have to take the different opinion because you just want to be different. So Terence, cut it out, okay?
I'm just like looking at you smiling and saying, yes, I agree.
See the smile. I know over these 11 years, you have like 7 different smiles and I know each of them. So this is a condescending smile. But basically, I was thinking, why? Because it's almost like every survey, it shows a certain part of Singapore that I feel maybe, it's something to be like, oh, Singapore is like this, that's why. But you look at this, you're like, holy shit, man. Like the one graph, in addition to some of the other stats, there's one stat about how that not feeling like you need to be part of a religion to be part of that national identity. If you're in a country where there's a majority race, a religion, if you're not part of it, you feel like a minority. Singapore, of course, there's race, but religion, it as much as sometimes I know I also say and feel, Singapore needs to be more secular. Actually, we are pretty damn secular when you compare it to other countries. Right? And when you look at this, you're like, you just have to step back and you'll be like, okay, this one is undeniably, we have done something that's right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's very easy to complain about shit in Singapore, but you just look, maybe it's also in the broader context of everything that's going on outside of Singapore. You look at it, you're like, wow, like even when I married a Catholic,
Yeah.
I can imagine previous generations, maybe there'll be a lot of pushback. But there was no resistance I felt aside from maybe my own beliefs.
Yeah.
Which is a luxury, man.
Yeah. And that you have the time to even think about it and talk about it and not like, be running away from a riot or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
and not have to do anything in secret or anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm one of those people, right, who I have in my life also dabbled with religion and moved in and out of religions also,
Like a fitness training program, huh? Yeah.
Fitness training.
Like a diet plan like that, is it, Terence?
No, I mean, I do think like religion has a very big community aspect to it, right?
Yeah.
And at certain points of your life, sometimes you need that. You feel like you need the community, and religion is it's one way to get into a community, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think at certain points in my life, I did feel like, okay, maybe there's something I want to take a look at, right? Got quite into it and then got out of it, and there's literally a survey. There are survey results here that show that they show like people who are raised in a certain religion, are they still in a certain religion, and then they show you the percentage net change of how many percent whether these people have left religion or taken up another religion. And the interesting statistic here is that atheists, or these people with no religion, is the biggest positive change, plus 9%. It means a lot of people were brought up with I think it just means that more people are coming to the realization that they have no religion, that they don't want religion in life. Yeah. And as much as that just seems like very simple statistic, there even somewhere like the US and all, like atheism, like there are surveys out there that talk about how atheism is really frowned upon in a place like the US, right? Like they're literally on their currency is like, in God we trust and all that. So to be able to just have almost a fifth of our population outright just say that they're not religious, even though we have so many religions on our little island. I think that's pretty awesome. So
yeah, and I mean this survey, unlike some other surveys that we've spoken about, it was pretty damn comprehensive, lah. I mean, comprehensive in the sense that it surveyed 13,122 adults across multiple countries. The website has very detailed methodology sections and questionnaires, so it's very transparent, lah. So you look at it, you're like, okay, lah. Like unlike some other surveys where you can't even find the damn report, this one is there. But going back to what you said, it just feels like, because I think sometimes, when you look at surveys or you hear things about Singapore, there's one thing where you look at the results and then you think about your own lived experience, right? And I can imagine how some people, myself included, at times, I felt that, certain religions have so much influence in Singapore.
Yeah.
Right. And when you look at this, you're like, is it, are we really tolerant, But then if you step back, if you take yourself out of your bubble, I think we really take a lot of things for granted. Like a shit ton of things for granted.
Yeah.
And just the fact that you can be of a different belief, and maybe you might have philosophical arguments, but you don't have to fear like harm or danger to yourself, lah.
Yeah.
Right. And it really, it feels like it's getting more and more rare, lah.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, even in a lot of developed nations,
that
the politics is skewing, to more nativist kind of rhetoric, right? That means far right means people saying, "Oh, if you're not born here, you're not from our country, or you're not really from our country," and all that.
Yeah.
I think that all really it really is quite closely intertwined with things about religiosity, right? Because it's I think you, like I mentioned, religion has a very big community aspect to it, right? And so do all these all this rhetoric about, this is our tribe, are you born here, and all that. Also very community focused kind of rhetoric. So the fact that people here, a large number of them can practice a religion or one of the religions, they can walk around and see other people practicing religions. And at the same time, just say that and be positive about it and say that is actually a strength of ours rather than a weakness, right? I think that's really like I'm quite like shocked and pleasantly surprised by it lah. Yeah.
No wonder just now you were saying the pledge in the corner of the office.
Yeah. I was like
after lunch.
tears in my eyes saying the pledge, right?
But then one thing is that this is focused on religion, not race.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because and not to say that I'm putting on my racial lens again. I think it's just sometimes it like also don't want to say that Singapore is the perfect utopia,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
There's a lot of things that we are working through, that every country is working through. And then I was thinking, are we as racially tolerant as we are religiously tolerant? I don't know, but it also feels like just differentiating the two is important.
Yeah,
because the one difference is you can't see someone's religion, but you can see someone's race.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is a big difference also. But I think just reading this survey, it just feels like, actually, yeah. You look at it. I think there are certain streets in Singapore also that have two religious places of worship, right? Next to each other or a few doors down or something like that, which is pretty insane, lah.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. And we always joke about it, like when you before F1 or all these big events, then all the major the seven religions or how many religions are represented, they come and then they pray side by side for the event and all that. It doesn't always happen in a lot of countries, this kind of thing, They're literally a lot of times there's like segregation between groups about what they want to do or how they want to pray and all that. But ours is really it's just part of what we do really, right? It's so ingrained, like literally F1 night race, let's pray for it and let's get all the major religions to come together and walk the track and pray together, Such a interesting such an interesting mix. Sometimes Singapore does still surprise us once in a while.
And right? I mean technically like I also now can brag about being extremely religiously tolerant. Like, I got the badge already.
You have the statistics to back you up as well.
Yeah. No, I'm saying me.
Okay, because you live it day to day lah.
That's why I'm fucking religiously tolerant, no. Yeah, it's like IPPT badge last time. You got gold, sniper. Now I got religiously tolerant. You can't argue against it.
They give you a sticker.
Yeah, even if inside I might be totally thinking something, you cannot argue on paper. I am super religiously tolerant.
Yeah. It's people like you that's making this survey possible,
Exactly, like, shaping Singapore. Shaping Singapore. Shaping Singapore.
Yeah, but I think that's quite. I think the whole thing is quite interesting because I never. I think this research also is pointing out that this religious diversity is a real strength, right?
Yeah.
And it's not something very sexy to say like, what's attractive about living here or that. Religious diversity, But now in the world that we live in, being able to say, here people are very religiously tolerant of other religions and all that is I think it's a real attractive thing.
I think so too, man. Yeah. So except people come to Singapore not just because of the skyscrapers and the low tax, but it's also religiously tolerant.
Yeah, in some ways that's what being open-minded also is, right? So it's not just you come from the liberal West, then Singapore is so constrained and all that, right?
Yeah, man.
Interesting.
So props to Singapore.
Props to Singapore, man. Maybe we should be gentle, be kind to ourselves once in a while. And, just say, hey, not bad, good job.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah,
good job, man. Good job.
But we can be very religiously tolerant, but maybe we're not so tolerant about some other species, right? Not necessarily other religions or race, but other species.
Yeah.
And what is this issue that we're talking about?
This issue or the news that broke that a large crocodile recently sighted on a beach at Marina East Drive, which is like East Coast Park, has been captured and will be put down for public safety.
I think it has been put down.
Has been put down already. Oh man. It was announced by the National Parks Board NParks. And Acres has come out saying that they are disappointed that it has to be put down.
Yeah.
Right. But I think it's one of those things that you look like, why? It's a huge ass crocodile.
It's nearly 3 meters long, man. 3 meters.
3 meters is huge.
Huge, yeah.
It is huge. And this is East Coast Beach,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Marina East Beach. Isn't that like Marina East? Where's Marina East?
I mean, it's near East Coast Park, right? Like you said.
Towards the tail end, right? On one side.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, there hasn't been too much news about it. There's been, I guess, understandably, a lot of chatter online. Common things being like, oh, if we can let the otters exist, why do we need to kill this crocodile? Why can't we just relocate?
Yeah.
Because apparently in 2021, there was a 1.5 meter crocodile seen swimming in a canal near Fort Road, and it was relocated to Sungai Buloh Wetland Reserve.
Yeah.
So even for me, I was like, hey, why the hell do you have to put down this crocodile? It's 3 meters. Like, crocodiles are such majestic creatures.
Yeah.
But put down.
I mean, the one thing I have to say is, have you watched Wild Croc Territory?
No.
It's a reality show on Netflix. I think it was on my One Shiok Thing once. It's about a croc hunter in Australia.
Crocodile Dundee.
But a real one, like whose job it is, his and his team. Their job is to hunt down crocodiles and move them out of dangerous areas, right? Areas where they could pose dangers to people. And remember, Australia is a really it's crazy for wildlife, like spiders the size of your head will just turn up at your house and all that. In Singapore, we get one tiny little cockroach and everyone's freaking out already. Over there, it's snakes in the child's bedroom, and that's even part that actually happened in the show and all that, right? Where the mother had to remove a snake from her child's, her 3-year-old toddler's bedroom and all that. So this guy, I mean, for a living, he removes these crocodiles, and he's got all these tools to do it. Literally, even got a helicopter to go and scout for crocodiles and all. And what's interesting about the show is that they show you that it's not just about catching a crocodile and all. They literally have to use duct tape. They have to hold the crocodile down, use duct tape to tape up its mouth, multiple layers, cover its eyes, shield everything, strap all its feet together so it doesn't move. And then after trapping it that way, they have to use construction equipment to move the crocodile because it's that huge and heavy, And then after that, they have to move it to whether it's another, somewhere really far away or another facility or something. It's just such a huge endeavor. It's almost like moving house like that. And it's really dangerous. Like people, I mean, on the show, so there's quite a sad incident where someone who was on the show lost his life after, but not via being eaten by a crocodile, but in a helicopter accident.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but that's the nature of that job. There's it's a very physical job that has a lot of dangers. And it really shows you it's not easy. He's not doing a zookeeper's job. He's literally I would call him firstly, he's a logistics person. How to move such a big, how to catch, how to trap, and then how to move such a huge thing.
But the reason they are moved in the show is why?
Because they come too close to farms and they're eating cows and stuff like that. And then the farmer calls and they have to pay a fee for these guys to come and help to get rid of the crocodile.
And they relocate, they don't put down.
I think for the most part, they try. I mean, in the show they relocate it, they don't put it down per se. So it is a very big endeavor, and it does. I mean, the expertise I don't think is not like in Singapore we need a crocodile hunter around, right?
Yeah.
So the cost of it will probably be very high, if we have to recruit someone like that to come to Singapore and do it for us.
Yeah, but I mean, he was captured and put down. I don't know whether he was put down on site. But it was kind of like still, because even in that case they are relocating, right? This one, I think the thing that stings is it's put down, especially when I guess otters otters, you see them run around, they can do whatever they want. But this crocodile who's just on the beach, minding their own business, just sun tanning on the beach, then fucking captured and put down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very dirty part of the beach also.
Which people won't hang out that much, right?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the picture, it's is that the beach? It's horrible.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was what my initial thought was. But then just going on Reddit, I found some insightful comments and also just people saying why. There was one I mean, who goes by the name Komodo Dragon on Reddit Singapore, which was quite insightful, and basically shared the perspective why putting down it is the best option. I don't know what the expertise is of this person, but they wrote it in a way that was quite insightful. Basically, just saying very, very psychological stuff. Like you imagine if it's relocated. First of all, crocodiles apparently have very powerful homing instincts.
Yeah.
There's been so many cases of crocodiles being relocated up to 400 kilometers away and swimming back.
Yeah.
Right. So if there's a potential of this crocodile coming back here or being in the vicinity, it will impact the behavior of people at the beach, and it might even make people want to start culling crocodiles.
Yeah, scaring people even more, right?
Yeah, because whenever there's fear, there's a knee jerk thing, right? And that becomes undesirable. And even to relocate to Sungai Buloh, because the nature of crocodiles also, there's always like the fact that it's a very strong homing instinct means that they're very territorial. So you just move like a big ass crocodile like this to Sungai Buloh, it might upset the balance there.
Yeah.
And even in the articles, it was quoted that Sungai Buloh it can't accept just a 3-meter crocodile like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Our zoo, I mean, where do you find space for a 3-meter crocodile?
Yeah, 3 meters, like it's huge, no? It's not. At first, I was like, how big is the crocodile? I was like 3 meters.
Yeah.
And yeah, thankfully, these crocodiles are also not like severely endangered. Apparently, they are put on the least concern on an international red list since 1996. But yeah, it's still sad that it has to be put down. So then, just certain sentiments like that, and the fact that apparently it's done in a lot of other countries as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, interesting. But like for you, like what was your initial response to this?
That was my initial response. That I think Singapore, the logistics of it, the space to house or relocate a crocodile, and how it will upset the balance of Sungai Buloh and other places.
Also, your first thought already was like, okay, I have to be put down.
Yeah, my first thought is that it's very hard. It's a really difficult situation for the crocodile because like as mentioned from like watching the show and everything, you kind of understand that it's not as simple a problem as like that a zookeeper just walks in and solves. It really becomes a logistical issue, and that's the thing that I took away from the documentary, that these people, if they were not crocodile hunters, they'd be like contractors, like building contractors, because their expertise is like moving large objects and items and making sure it's done safely and everything, So that's where when this thing came up, the first thing that came to my mind was like, wow, it's going to be a big operation to try and move it. I did not know that the first option they would take is putting it down, right? But I can understand why it's
but
so
it's
down.
just one sighting, no? Maybe it was just coming to Singapore, pop out like, hey, what's this beach? Oh shit, this beach damn dirty, man. Okay, I'm done.
But safety, right? I mean, the fact that it is East Coast Park, of all places, that is accessible to humans, that people can have been taking photos of it, it's going to attract more attention. People want to go and take photos, and somebody is going to walk up and try and take a Gen Z selfie with it or do a backflip. People have been running up to rhinos and doing backflips and all that already.
When the wild boar attacked someone in Punggol, it was put down, right?
I don't know. Was it caught? I don't even know if it was caught.
There was one.
Oh yeah. I think it was caught because it came to the bus stop and everything, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, generally, like wild boar in Yishun incident euthanized as last resort.
Yeah.
That it caused commotion in the Yishun housing estate and it was euthanized. Like there was a public uproar.
Yeah.
Because at first I was thinking, hey, but same thing, both wild animals, but crocodiles, right? If you read up, basically, this is a saltwater crocodile.
Yeah.
It's an estuarine crocodile. And they are the largest living reptile. This is not just like, in Singapore, when you see certain species of sharks, it is not the great white shark.
Right?
You
see sharks in Singapore?
Yeah, got what? Like the small baby ass sharks. Like if you go diving at Pulau Hantu, I've heard right?
Okay.
But like the smaller sharks, right?
I've never seen sharks in Singapore waters.
So you dive all around Singapore?
I've dived around Singapore, yeah. So
really? I thought got some sharks, right?
Rarely. No, never.
Okay,
never
fine. Bad example.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the example?
Sharks in Singapore, what?
No, so like basically, there is always going to be like the apex predator version of different species, right?
Yeah,
so for this crocodile, it's not like some native, like island crocodile.
Yeah.
It is a saltwater crocodile, which is the largest living reptile. They can grow up to 6 meters, with some cases being recorded as being up to 7 meters. They can weigh up to 1,500 kilos, and they have the strongest bite of any living animal. And they are known to attack humans, lah.
Yeah.
So then when you look at it, you're like, oh shit, okay, this really is a danger. It's not like a wild boar,
Yeah.
where when provoked it can retaliate, but this is it's dangerous, lah. And the thing is, they're also in water, and if people go to the beach and they can swim bloody fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes by the time you see them, it's too late already, lah. Yeah.
Yeah, so then you look at it like, oh shit.
It's just a difficult situation, a tough situation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some comments was also saying like, send it to Crocodile Farm. Like, why is Crocodile Farm such a familiar phrase?
There was a crocodile. I think Singapore used to have a crocodile farm.
It used to have a crocodile farm.
We used to. Not anymore. But it's just unfortunately, because of the way we've set up the country and the infrastructure and everything, we cannot accommodate a lot of wildlife, right? That's the reality of it. And then because of the proximity of people to nature in Singapore, if there is even a chance of that wildlife posing a danger to people, a tough decision has to be made, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we don't want it, and we feel bad about it, but it really is that kind of situation where, like, imagine kids at East Coast Park, and imagine if something happens to a crocodile, then that's it really, lah. The Straits Times forum will be flooded with like letters and
why you never put down,
never do this, never do that kind of thing. Yeah.
But I mean, but for Acres to come out and say they're very disappointed, I would have thought that, okay, like that means it's not universal, in terms of all the groups that deal with like the welfare of animals and all.
Yeah.
It's not universal.
It's not. I mean, even that space. Even remember all the times that we've and I've spoken to you about dogs, right? The treatment of dogs between trainers, groomers, animal welfare organizations, pet shops, all that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
nothing universal.
Yeah, there's nothing universal about it. If anything, they're fighting with each other, right? So I would imagine there's also a similar situation for other kind of animal interest groups. Yeah.
Because I mean, like and I mean, in the report also it said it could have strayed from its home in Sungai Buloh or perhaps southern Johor or the Riau archipelago, lah.
Yeah.
So then, I mean, does it change whether you will go to Sungai Buloh or not?
No. It doesn't change anything. But I mean, last time when these kind of things happened, it was a very, very different time, like tigers in Singapore. Last time
you were like in the 1800s.
In the colonial era, when supposedly a tiger turned up in Singapore, right? There were rumored tiger attacks in I think Ubin and things like that.
Is it?
Yeah. I believe someone claimed they saw a tiger, and then there was a hunt for a tiger for like a month or something. But
also, it's not in 1800s, lah. It's like more in the 1900s.
Yeah. The colonial era, lah. Yeah. So now with social media, you don't even need to do that. Like, you don't need to. It's not even hearsay anymore. People are taking photos of it already.
Yeah.
And posting it everywhere. And there probably Facebook groups are citing crocodile or that. So it's very easy to track down already, lah. So there won't be this kind of mystery anymore.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just now when you said the rumored sightings, I thought you were going to talk about the rumored sighting of the lion in Singapore.
Oh, you mean when Sang Nila Utama?
Yeah. Because tigers, it's still in the region, right?
Yeah.
So it's plausible, lah. Whereas lion is like, where the hell did it come from?
Yeah. Correct.
Can you imagine if Sang Nila Utama had a smartphone?
Yeah, he'd be like selfies.
Wow,
selfie with a lion.
Can go crazy, man. Selfie with a lion.
Selfies. And that'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was sad, man.
Sad situation, lah. Yeah.
I mean, is anything going to be done to remember the crocodile?
So I do hope, because now we have quite a very, very good natural history museum. I hope the carcass or what is, donated to science, lah.
Yeah.
For something to be done with it, lah. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, remember when I think a sperm whale, the carcass of a sperm whale washed up, in Singapore.
Yeah.
It was a field day for all the researchers at the Natural History Museum.
Yeah.
And his for those who haven't visited before, the bones are very proudly displayed there, and in a very beautiful exhibit and everything.
Yeah. So at least something done to like remember, because a 3-meter mean crocodile means that there really is like wildlife all around Singapore, which is sometimes easy to forget lah.
Yeah.
Right. And at 3-meter, it's grown up pretty well in the wild lah.
Yeah. The most religiously tolerant wildlife in the world also.
No, I don't know. Religiously tolerant wildlife.
Yeah. I mean, by virtue of being in Singapore lah.
Yeah. Oh, but oh well.
Yeah, tough one.
Rest in peace, Croc.
Rest in peace, Croc.
Rest in peace, Croc.
But yes, what is your one Shiok comment of all this time as well?
Okay. Let me pull it up. You got it in front of you?
Yeah, actually. I think our last discussion about arcade prices, right? We talked about arcade prices and all. Someone just, one of Rai Kota, just talked about thinking of the arcade issue, because there's a lot of arcades that have opened up around his or her home, and every time their 3-year-old kid sees the arcades, they're very drawn in by all the prize machines, all the lights, the soft toys, and epilepsy-causing levels of bright lights, right? And I can almost see her eyes widening and her thoughts being like, when I'm older, I will come blow all my money here, right? So it's like, it's true is that young kids are really attracted to the arcade machines that we see these days. And Rai Kota also had experience recently of going to Bali and walking the old mall, where it's the old type of arcade, where it was like the arcade of the 90s with like no bright lights, no prize machines, but all like the arcade cabinets with Street Fighter and all these things. And it was just, table hockey, the basketball games, arm wrestling. There was just a lot more satisfaction from watching the daughter play a table hockey game than playing one of those soft toy machines. And I just thought that's quite true in that arcade games, all these arcades used to be quite family friendly places where parents could bring young children and play games like bowling and basketball and all these things. Less so these days, which is kind of sad and makes me think like, then we talked about it being a sunset industry. If it's not the same thing as what it used to be, maybe it's really not that worth having so many of them around, right? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting.
Did you spend a lot of time in the arcades when you're younger with your family or anything?
No, not really.
No,
Once in a while. Yeah. Once in a while, it's like if lucky, you can just play 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
Then that's it.
Yeah. For me, it was quite a bit of time spent playing games there. Watching, hanging out with friends,
oh, really?
Watching people play games and things like that. Yeah.
Dance Revolution also?
A bit yeah.
Oh, you did a bit?
I didn't do it, but my friends did. So I would watch and laugh at them.
But then you go home secretly and do
Go home secretly, wish I could do it. Yeah.
I see.
So I was the one that was standing at the side of the machine, laughing at the people playing the game. You were probably the one standing outside, laughing at everyone who's standing inside. All these losers.
Exactly, man.
Right.
Yeah, in my jock phase. Jock phase. But cool. So my one Shiok thing is a comment on Reddit for our podcast talking about 445, where Parliament was debating whether perfume is a basic need or not.
Yeah.
And it's a Redditor who I don't think has posted often before. Fee Chong.
Yeah.
FICONG. And they wrote one small comment on the perfume point. I guess that was more for women, for whom it might be more essential, or actually essential than for men, who might generally be okay with just deodorant. I know Terrence and Harish didn't mean anything by it, but this is one of the problems of projecting just based on one's own feelings and experience. I think it was I said I use deodorant, not perfume, so perfume is not essential, and MIS should have said deodorant rather than perfume. That is true, lah. That is true. I don't know how women differentiate or females differentiate, whether and even some guys who wear perfume. It's just like I use deodorant as my baseline, but I can imagine for women using perfume lah. So I don't know. Even then, like, I'm not fully privy of like why and when they use perfume. Maybe it's something I should ask my wife.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just our own lived experiences.
You gotta
checking my male deodorant privilege.
Yeah.
Correct. But I'm sure there are guys out there who also use perfume.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think in my younger days I used to use a lot more.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
As
but
you
bought into the marketing and all that, right?
You
think you use a perfume.
I think that's true. There was one Armani blue jeans.
You use a perfume, then you smell like Johnny Depp, that kind of thing.
Correct.
Or Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, correct.
That's the marketing, lah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. My one Shiok thing.
Yes,
I guess
your one
jumping
Shiok
right
thing.
into it. Because we are, since we've talked about it, we spent so much time watching videos about it all.
Yeah.
The truth is, I wasn't as well versed, into the history of the Israel-Palestine conflict and all that. But I watched a couple of videos that I thought were really interesting. And those were like from years ago by Vox, right? The media company. And it's actually features Johnny Harris. Remember Johnny Harris?
Yeah.
The YouTuber who talks about maps.
Yeah.
I guess he was working for Vox or something before, where he actually made these videos for them. And it's about the Israeli settlements in the West Bank. And the interesting thing is that he doesn't just talk about it, like just showing you a map or that. He actually traveled to all these settlements and really just talk about how strange the whole situation is and how the borders are, it's really like a rojak of different people, different
It's a recent
borders.
video he made?
7 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So it's very long ago, and but it's my first time seeing it, and I think I learned a lot from it. And so, if you want to better understand some of what is going on in the Middle East right now, I think these videos are a pretty good gateway. Yeah. And for you?
My one Shiok thing was last night after I was zonked from the event.
Yeah.
I went out. I was stayed at home and just watched the movie, and I finally started my Lord of the Rings journey.
Oh,
finally!
Wow.
Finally.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch the whole first movie in one sitting.
Yeah.
I think I made it to like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a ride. It's a ride.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Harish has never watched Lord of the Rings.
I haven't watched Lord of the Rings.
So that's how many movies is that in total?
3 lah.
Just 3?
3, right?
Oh, and then after that it's The Hobbit, right?
Oh, I haven't watched The Hobbit.
Oh, yeah. There's The Hobbit.
So you've seen all? Must watch all lah. The Hobbit is the precursor, is it?
The prequel, yeah. I mean, they're all very epic, It's a very epic universe.
Yeah.
And then after that, there's the new Amazon series also.
Wheels of Time, is it?
No. It's it's
oh yeah,
from the Lord of the Rings world. What is it called? Rings of Power.
Rings
yes,
of Power.
Yes.
Oh, Wheels of Time is something else.
Wheels of Time is something else. Rings of Power. Yeah. Also, I think a prequel of even The Hobbit and all before the Hobbit era.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean and now I finally get like who Saruman is and Gandalf and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just halfway through the first movie, so I don't know whether anything else happens lah.
Yeah. So it's a lot of time it's a lot of time.
That's why I'm treating it like a series lah.
Yeah.
I don't need to watch the movie in one full sitting.
Oh, but that's the best, right?
Yeah, but like 3 hours, like it's like So I mean, I'll see. Maybe over the weekend or something.
Yeah. Welcome to civilization.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah. Late to the game.
Yeah. After this is what The Godfather.
I haven't watched those.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. After they finish this series,
man, so many.
Godfather and all. Okay. Ken.
Cool, man.
Power.
Awesome. Okay, thanks everyone for listening. And remember, if you enjoyed it, please just hit subscribe, follow wherever you're listening to this. And if you want to work with us, just email us at contact@ministryoffunny.com.
Yeah, and I know we say this almost every episode, but probably for real, peace.
Peace.